This video is sponsored by Only Crits. Last week, I put out a video where I unboxed the Pathfinder beginner box. As a reminder, while I'm reviewing the copy that was sent to me by a viewer, ShadowForce4, I also received a review copy from Paizo. They didn't sponsor the video, they just really wanted my honest reaction to the product. And you can actually win the copy they sent me. The details for that contest are in my last video. Go watch it if you haven't already. But one thing I didn't know about the box until I opened it was that there wasn't just a bunch of pre-generated characters and a pre-written adventure for a group. There was also a pre-written solo adventure. This means that, in theory, if you pick up this box because you're curious about Pathfinder, but you don't know how the game works, and you don't even know that there needs to be a game master, you don't just get automatically saddled with the role of being the game master and having to recruit players. You could still use the box and have fun by playing the solo adventure yourself. And then you could either create a character, or if you want to use some more of the material in the box, maybe you will decide that you want to put a group together and run an adventure. It's not the sort of thing that would have ever occurred to me to put into a starter set for an RPG, but it is such good design. But let's actually jump into the adventure, because I have a lot more to say, but we can discuss all of that after you've already seen me play through it. Again, I played through this adventure on Twitch, so follow me there if you haven't already. I've got a bunch of live streams planned that will become upcoming videos on the channel, and I would love to have you there for those. Now, let's jump into the adventure. Solo adventure. It's going to be very choose-your-own-adventure-y. So who am I playing as? Valeros the fighter, Mereziel the rogue, Kira the cleric, or Ezran the wizard? Kaminer said, on the one hand, everyone says Pathfinder solves the martial caster, so a fighter might fit. On the other, do the wizard. Many people are saying just roll a d4. Okay, we'll roll a d4. Wizard. Rogue. I'm actually wondering how much I'll even need a character sheet. If this is really more a choose-your-own-adventure. But we'll see. Final warning for spoilers for Pirate King's Plunder, which is the solo adventure in the beginner box for Pathfinder. You are a wandering adventurer visiting Otari, a small town on the coast of the Starstone Isle. I also appreciate, by the way, we talked about Otari. It's nice that the name is not like standard Middle Ages European fantasy. Like, it feels like a broader experience. It still is Fantasyland, but it doesn't sound like your standard Fantasyland, which is nice. You are a wandering adventurer visiting Otari, a small town on the coast of the Starstone Isle, an enormous island magically raised out of the ocean by an ancient god. Otari is renowned for its lumber and fine wooden boats, but that's not what brought you here. You came looking for adventure. Word has it that a vicious beast is preying upon the town's livestock, and the mayor has offered 10 gold coins to any hero who can put an end to the menace. That kind of money would pay your expenses for a month. Because, you know, gold is not as common in Pathfinder as it is in D&D. After asking around at a nearby tavern called the Crow's Casks, you learn that most of the attacks occur on the west side of town, not far from the shore. That seems like the best place to start your search. You gather up your belongings and make your way out along the rocky beach to begin your hunt. It doesn't take long for you to find the entrance to a dark and mysterious cave. Large paw prints lead to and from the gloomy opening. Go to entry 13. Whoa, okay. So we're not going to 2. Noticing the tracks leading to the cave, you hide in the nearby underbrush, hoping to ambush whatever foul beast lives here. After just a few minutes, you hear the sound of something approaching, and the scent of wet fur hangs heavy in the air. Emerging. Oh yeah, so I don't think I need a character sheet at all, because it's just going to give me the relevant information. Emerging from the bushes is a lean, mangy wolf carrying the body of a dead chicken in its maw. It appears to be returning home after its most recent hunt. Clearly, this is the beast that's been preying upon the farmer's animals. You wait until it is near to then draw your short sword and spring out to attack. You are now in combat with a wolf. You know this feral beast cannot be tamed and must be slain to keep the farmer's livestock safe. Both you and the wolf take turns attacking one another. You attack by rolling the 20-sided die, d20 for short, and adding your attack bonus, which represents your skill at wielding a weapon. You must reduce the wolf to 0 hit points or less. On the wolf's turn, it'll attack you. Roll a d20 and add its attack bonus, and compare the result. Your actions. Strike with short sword. We get 3 actions, and then it's the wolf's turn, and then my turn. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm going to attack this wolf, and then I'm going to hide in the bushes. I'm going to attack twice and hide in the bushes. Roll and add 7. Yeah, that means that I got an 8 total, which will not hit the wolf's AC of 14. Second roll. Okay, that will. That is yeah, that's a natural 12, so that's a 19. Oh, wait, but I only add 2 to the roll, because it is the diminishing returns of multiple attacks. But that still makes it exactly a 14. 1d6 plus 4. It's a good roll. 2, 6, so 6 damage to the wolf. Then I'm going to hide. I hide in the bushes and my AC goes up to 20. Now the wolf will bite me 3 times. That is a 5. Sorry, so 10 plus 5, because 5 is their attack bonus, is 15. And my AC is now 20, so it doesn't hit. Second time they don't add anything because of the diminishing returns. That is a natural 19. And I have an AC of 20 because I'm in the bushes. And the third time, they can't hit me because I subtract 5 from the third attack. Yeah, makes it a 9. Okay. I'm going to jump out. I'm going to attack it again. That will hit. That is a 14 plus 7 is 21, which will hit. Same damage. Means it has 5 hit points left. I can finish this thing off. I have a worse chance of hitting, but I'm going to try. I only add 2 to this. It's a 10. Screw it. I'm going to try again. No, not even close. And I'm not hidden, which means my AC is still 18, which is pretty good. Wolf's going to try to bite 3 times. I feel like I've got a pretty good chance. Yeah, it's a 15, which doesn't hit. Then a 9, which doesn't hit. And a 17 minus 5, which doesn't hit. 17 doesn't even hit. Yeah, I'm marking in all the minus. It gives you a little guide. It says, add 7 for your first attack, 2 for the second, and minus 3 for the third. And the wolf adds 5 for the first attack, adds nothing for the second attack, and subtracts 5 for the third, because that's how the 3-action economy works for Pathfinder. My next attack is a natural 18, so it for sure hits. And that is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will kill the wolf. Oh, I didn't read this part. If your attack roll exceeds the wolf's AC by 10 or more, if I get a 24, which I didn't get, but that would have been a critical hit. Okay. I defeated the wolf. I go to entry 7. I leap aside, avoiding the wolf's snarling jaws, and drive my sword deep into its flank. With a yowl, the wretched creature falls into the muck and goes still. You clean off your blade, and then wander into the cave to make sure that this wolf was the only one. As your eyes adjust to the gloom, you find yourself inside a small cavern that was obviously the beast's home. It stinks of wet fur, and there are scraps of rotting meat and bone lying about, evidence of its previous victims. Far more interesting, though, is what you spot at the back of the cave. A crack in the far wall leads into darkness, and just above it, scratched into stone, is a symbol that looks a lot like a treasure chest. As you draw closer, you realize the crack is actually the entrance to an underground tunnel. It might just be the hiding place of some forgotten treasure. I can either squeeze through the crack and explore deeper, or go back to town and collect my riches. I'm gonna explore deeper. Putting aside your fear, you squeeze your way through the crack into the narrow passage beyond, lit only by faint light from above. If the cobwebs and dust are any indication, no one has been down this way for a long time. Up ahead, the passageway widens to form a cave chamber before veering to the left. A curtain of moss grows on the right wall of the small cavern, fed by a trickle of water dripping from the cavern ceiling. Something about it looks odd, but you can't quite figure it out without succeeding at a perception check. Your perception indicates how good you are at noticing things, blah blah, roll, and add 4. The DC is 15, which means I need an 11, and I got a 6. Which means I fail, which means I go to 21. You look around, but fail to spot anything of interest. With no way to go, you head down the corridor that leads off to your left. You notice a faint breeze as you make your way down the tunnel. Hold on. Do I necessarily go that way? I wouldn't retreat. Well, they want me going that way. Railroading. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm here for an adventure. Hey, I saw the words Snake's AC in this section. That can't be good. The passageway winds through ancient rock, but it's clear that someone has made it wider with a pickaxe, although it looks like the work was done many years ago. After squeezing hurriedly through a narrow crevice, with a ceiling supported only by a rotting log, you find yourself in a small chamber. Roots grow down from above, breaking through the ceiling and letting in faint, dappling light here and there across the cavern. Opposite the entrance is another corridor, but before you can head down that way, you hear a terrible hissing sound coming from the passageway. Emerging from the darkness is a gigantic snake with terrifying fangs. You are now in combat with a snake. Just as when fighting the wolf, you and the snake will take turns attacking one another until one side is defeated. But there are a few things now to pay attention to in this combat. Here's their stats. Okay, they only have 8 hit points. That's nice. The snake gets to go first, but it must spend 2 of its 3 actions to close the distance before it attacks. So it only gets to attack me once. Okay, I'll take it. Whenever it bites me, it might poison me. I hope it doesn't. I must make a fortitude save every time it bites me. I can attack, but there's nothing to hide behind. Alright, here we go. We are rolling. Snake attacks me first. That's not gonna do it. That is a... oh, it's a +8. What's my armor? AC 18? No, still no way. Now I attack it. That's not gonna do it. 9 plus... Oh, actually, hold on. 9 plus 7 is what? 16? That hits. AC is 15. Let's see if I can kill it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 1 hit point. That's a bummer. Okay, it's got 1 hit point. I'm gonna see if I can attack it again. Okay, it's 12 plus 2. It does not hit. And the third attack. Natural 20. -3. Which means that it is a total of 17, which means it's not considered a critical hit, I don't think. Or is it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It has 1 hit point. Who cares? Oh, even if I didn't double damage, it's still a natural 6. So it's either 10 damage or 10 plus 1 is 11 damage. Or you double the die itself, which is, you know, still more than 1 hit point, so it's dead. If I defeat the snake, go to entry number 8. With a swish, your blade slices right through the snake and it falls dead at your feet with a loud thud. Stepping around its body, you check the room for anything of value. You find a very old, tarnished silver coin wedged between 2 stones on the floor. It must have been here for ages, but it will buy you a night at the inn back in town when this is all over. Add 1 silver to my scratch paper. Ooh. Money! Oh, double the total result. I see. I'm going back and reading the information on the wolf attack. It would have been 20 hit points. Damn. Alright, well, either way. Leaving the dead serpent behind, you head toward the passageway opposite the entrance. Unlike the caves that came before, this tunnel looks like it was carefully dug out of the earth and meticulously reinforced with wood and stone. After about 20 feet, the passageway forks, leading off to the right and the left. You can hear the faint sound of splashing water to the right, while a very cold breeze drifts out of the passage to the left. Which way do you go? Let's do splashing water. We'll go to entry 5. The burbling sound, echoing from somewhere up ahead, grows louder with each step until you can hear the sound of rushing water clearly. As you turn a corner, the source of the sound becomes apparent. The chamber up ahead is split in half by a stream that flows through the center of the room. This swift underground river enters the room from the right and flows out to the left. Across the way, you see a passageway that continues onward. Then you can just make out a staircase going down. Discarded on the ground in front of you is an old torch, probably left here by a previous explorer. If I take the torch, write torch on my piece of scratch paper. Otherwise, if your notes say hold the lever, go to entry 16. I did not. Otherwise, go to entry 11. Okay, interesting. I'll take the torch. I'm going to 11, right? This one goes to 11. The only way to get across the river is to swim through the dangerous water. Swimming to the other side of the room requires a skill check. To attempt a skill check, roll a d20 and add the bonus associated with the skill you are trying to use. If the result is equal to or greater than the DC of the task, you succeed. In this case, you can make the athletics check to swim across. Let's see, it's a plus 17 and the DC is 15. If I succeed or fail too many times. If I fail 3 checks, I'm dragged into the underground water river and beaten against the rocks. If I make it to the other side, I make my way down the stairs, or I can go back the way I came. Okay. Let's see what happens when I succeed. Well, let's see what happens if I succeed, is what I meant to say. I need a plus 7. I need to get 15, which means I need an 8. It's a 14. It's 1 success. That is exactly an 8. That's 2. That's a 4, so that's 1 fail. I need to... If I fail... Oh, wait, sorry. If I fail 3 checks before I succeed on 2, but I succeeded on 2 checks. So I'm good. Oh, I see, yeah. Succeed on 2 athletics checks. Yeah, that was at the beginning. I missed it. Okay, so we're good. I can make it to the other side. You travel down quite a distance before arriving in a large, cavernous chamber. A hole in the ceiling above allows a thin shaft of light that illuminates a pile of coins and at least a couple glittering jewels. Yeah, I'll go a little further. Standing in the center of this pile is a wooden statue, crudely carved to look like a pirate. The statue holds a wooden saber pointed menacingly in my direction. Drawing closer, you can tell that the statue has joints and hinges on its arms and legs, but by the time you realize it, you have drawn too close, and the statue comes to life! Swinging its saber back and forth, the menacing statue approaches you. As it draws near, you spot a strange-looking keyhole located in the middle of the statue's neck. I don't have skeleton key, so I have to fight it. Go to 15. Sorry, not 15, 25. You are now in combat with the pirate statue. To start this combat, you and the statue must start by rolling initiative to determine who goes first. There we go. It's a perception check. Both of you attempt. As the one who gets the higher result acts first in combat. And your perception is a +4. 22. The statue's perception is +0. Oh, look. It didn't beat 22. To get 19. I must spend one action moving next to the statue before making any attacks. Okay. And I don't have anywhere to hide, it sounds like. The statue is much slower, so if it goes first, it must spend 2 actions moving up to me. But I'm going to move towards it, so I can attack it twice. If I move up to it, I can attack with my remaining actions. If I move away, it must spend 2 of its actions on its turn to move toward me. Oh, that's cool. That might be smart. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to move towards it, I'm going to attack once, and then I'm going to move away, so it has to spend 2 of its actions to get close to me. That's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to beat it up. Boy, it's got a lot of hit points, and not a small amount of armor class. That is definitely a hit with the 15 plus 2, 22, which hits the AC of 18. That is 6 damage, right? Yeah, 6 damage to its 20, which means it has 14 left. I'm going to move back. It has to spend 2 actions to get up to me, and then it's going to attack once. It's got quite the attack. That is a 11 plus 9 to hit me, which does hit, and it sucks for me that happened. And I didn't like it, because my AC is 18. How many hit points do I have again? You know, I haven't taken any damage, because I haven't needed to look at this. I have 20 hit points too. We are evenly matched, he and I. So how much damage does it do? D8 plus 2. Ooh, boy, that was 9 hit points. Rough. Okay, my turn. I don't have to move, because it's right up next to me. So that is 12 plus 7 is 19, which just barely hits the 18. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, which means it's at 5 hit points. I take one more attack before I'm gonna run away. Not run away, but just run away. This is only a plus 2 to hit. No, 14. I move back. It takes 2 actions. I'll move back to the treasure pile. You know, so if I die, I fall on the coins. It will move towards me with 2 of its actions. It only gets 1 to hit. But it does have a plus 9, and that is... Yeah, that's a 21 to hit me. Which means... Okay. Only 5 damage that time. Oof. Means I'm at 6. Wow, we are very similar in health. Okay, I'm gonna attack it twice and move away again. This is my strategy. Hey, hell yeah, that is an 18 plus 7. I don't even do the math on that one. Wait. 1 plus 4 is 5, and it had 5 hit points left. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I defeat the statue, I go to entry 6. The pirate statue falls to the floor in a thunderous crash, breaking into several pieces. With this last guardian defeated, you are free to gather up the loot and make your way back to town. In total, the pile of coins contains 79 copper, 25 silver, and 4 gold. But the real treasure was in the... I really thought I was going to say, in the friends you made along the way. But there are no friends along the way, so what's this actually going to say? But the real treasure was in the 3 gems you found. 2 are simple agate gemstones worth 5 gold each, but the last is a sparkling ruby. It can easily sell for 20 gold, making this a very rewarding trip indeed. Gathering up the last of your loot, you prepare to head back to Otari and claim the reward for killing the wolf. While you're at it, you might just spring for the nicest room at the inn, and maybe talk to the town blacksmith about getting a new suit of armor. But that is a tale for another adventure. Congratulations on defeating this solo adventure. Did you collect all of the treasure? There's a total... Oh, I didn't write it down. There's a total of... Oh no, you're gonna tell me whether or not I hit 100%? Oh no. Okay, before I look at that, let's do the math. Oh, for sure I didn't. Hold on, what did I get? I got 79 copper. I already had 1 silver, so now I have 26 silver and 4 gold. Okay. Now it's going to tell me whether I hit 100%, and I definitely didn't. There's a total of 40 gold worth of coins and treasure you can find during this event, plus the reward. Remember that 10 copper is equal to 1 silver, and 10 silver is equal to 1 gold. Yeah, absolutely no way did I get that many. You are now ready to build your own character. Go to page 12 to begin the journey. Boy, there was a lot of treasure I missed out on. Ooh boy, holy moly. But perhaps when you play through this, you'll do better than I did. I think I did pretty well, all things being equal. I didn't take much damage until the very end, and then I took much damage. But that's alright. That's my character sheet. And that is, in a way, another way to build a RPG character. See, it's tying together to all my videos. That really was a lot of fun. Now, right at the end of the adventure, the book does two cool things. First, obviously with the reference to all the treasure you may not have found, it basically encourages you to run the adventure again, which is not something I see a lot of products produced for the player experience do. We don't really talk about running through dungeons multiple times, let alone playing through the adventure again. Sure, we sometimes hear that an adventure can be played multiple times in the same group, with games like Curse of Strahd including randomization with the Tarot deck, the Taroka deck, or Waterdeep Dragon Heist offering multiple villain options. But do we ever do this, at least with the same players? I think it's pretty rare. But in this case, the game basically says, hey, if you didn't find all this loot, you could have done better, so maybe try again. And in addition to hacking the parts of our brain that try to get 100% in video games or whatever, that's also a really nice way to, again, make you feel like you didn't waste your money if you bought this as a player without realizing what this game might include. The second cool thing the game does once you reach the end of the adventure is it immediately follows it up with the tools to make your own character. In the tabletop RPG community, we talk a lot about how creating characters is fun if you already know how to do it, but it's a slog for people who just want to get to the good stuff and play the game. And while that's an oversimplification, and it's certainly not true for everybody, this is why so many starter sets include pre-generated characters, to help take that burden off of new players as they start their adventure. But this solo adventure is the perfect way to get new players excited to create a character, because they've already experienced the game. They've played through an adventure already. So not only have they had a chance to do the thing they wanted to do, play the game, but they also know more now about how the game plays, and that will make it easier to make the decisions they need to during character creation to figure out what kind of character they actually want to play. Now that I've seen that in action, it's a really elegant piece of game design. I am really impressed by that. I went into this box assuming that you would need to pick a pre-generated character for the solo adventure, but no, that wasn't even true. Instead, I was given the most simple details as I played through it. I never really had a full sense of what my character's skills and abilities were. They were effectively a level 0 character. If I wanted, I could make a character who was as similar as possible with a high AC and physical attacks, but the fact that we don't really know a lot about the character means that we've been given a glimpse into the game, but with the opportunity to visualize our character in whatever way makes the most sense for us. And that opens the door to character creation. And again, the fact that you don't need to pick a pre-generated character means that you really can go into this adventure with no other information about anything else in the box. This could be the very first thing you do with the game, and you would still have a great time. Something else funny I realized about the final fight was that there was no reference to opportunity attacks, which do work differently in Pathfinder, but they still would have applied. My character and the enemy could move freely without triggering them. I mean, unless I missed it, but I didn't see anything in the adventure about them. But that's okay. Those rules exist in the game, so I assume they're somewhere else in the rulebook included in the box. But either way, the takeaway is still important. You don't need to know all of the rules to have a great time. And this adventure is really good about making sure you only have the information you need to play and have fun. And that's a really clever way to onboard new players, by focusing on what's fun, rolling dice, fighting monsters, exploring cool environments, and getting treasure. Thankfully, the box includes a set of dice, and it's nice that they gave you the tools you need to play the game. But of course, some people really just like buying their own awesome sets of dice, finding dice that speak to them or represent their character or just look awesome. And no matter what kinds of dice you like, today's sponsor, Only Crits, has what you're looking for. They've got an incredible selection of plastic dice, metal dice, sharp-edged dice, tiny dice, hollow dice, stone dice, mystery dice subscriptions, and cases and trays. If you've got dice needs, they've got the dice you need. And if you visit onlycrits.com/supergeekmike and use the promo code supergeek at checkout, you can save 12% off your order. Plus, a percentage of the money you pay to Only Crits actually gets sent my way to help support this channel. Plus, you get some awesome dice. Once again, that's onlycrits.com/supergeekmike and use the promo code supergeek. Thank you so much to Only Crits for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. These Pathfinder videos have not been performing quite as well as some of my usual content, so if you can like the video, leave a comment, share it with your friends, that really helps a lot. If you want to support me financially, you can join my Patreon. There are awesome rewards there at all sorts of levels and more on the way. You can join my Discord server to hang out with other awesome people, and follow me on Twitch to catch these live streams. And make sure to sign up for my newsletter to get my occasional updates. I also recently made a video where I put together my first Pathfinder character sheet, so check that video out right here. Until next time, play fair and have fun.